Good morning, 10 before 5. Time to take a look at the markets. And from TJM Investments in Chicago, Scott Shellady joining us. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
Well, after a big, long holiday break, you get first crack at the markets here. How are we doing in overnight trade?
Well, it's kind of slow, as could be expected. I mean, we had some weather throughout the Midwest, and I flew back myself yesterday from Arizona, and there was a lot of canceled flights because of all that weather that was in the Midwest. And we're going to be kind of quiet here to get going. Corn's not too far from home. You know, wheat's down a couple, beans up a couple. But I still think that we haven't really had a big bullish scare. There hasn't been anything out there that's going to give us a reason to take our foot off first base. I also think that going into the weather here now, because after Memorial Day, we're going to really start talking about that till the July 4th holiday. We're going to need something really to get going here, and it's really been rather benign, actually. Mother Nature's been really kind of complying. And
the stereotype of weather worries has always been drought in the past. Could flooding do that, or wet-induced disease do that?
Yeah, we've had wet weather scares before. That's definitely been the case. But, you know, you go back over the years, there hasn't been really a year that we haven't got corn and beans planted ultimately. So we've got that drought in the West. California's not getting any better. There are some things to still get worried about, but in whole, en masse, we've had some pretty decent weather. So I'm not going to say it's the Garden of Eden, but it's definitely not, definitely not Hades.
Yeah, well, if rain makes grain, adage is true. There's going to be a lot of grain coming from somewhere. So what do you think of the livestock trade this week, Scott?
Well, you know, I just got done looking at those charts. I still think they all look really pretty constructive. I think we got another 2 or 3, maybe even $5 in cattle, both of those markets. Technically speaking, they look pretty good. So we've been slowly but surely making some strides up there. Now, at some point in time, high prices are going to cure high prices. But we've got that bird flu thing, and I keep getting media requests to talk about it because it does start to slowly trickle over into both, especially pork, but then that will trickle over into beef because of the alternatives. And, you know, with over 20 states having problems and 40 million birds being euthanized, it's slowly but surely starting to be a story.
I mean, as a positive indication for beef, more beef going on the grill?
Well, I think, you know, here we're going to start talking about, like I've said before, July 4th. Folks are going to be surprised by that on their calendar. I don't know how, but and then as we get closer to that holiday, we'll probably sell off. But at the same time, with the avian flu thing, the alternatives are both pork and beef, and I think that they've been benefactors of that story.
Is it reducing feed grain demand at all?
Yeah, a little bit. That sneaks in there too. But, you know, that's dwarfed by the fact that we've had 2 great years behind us here, and there's still a lot of guys that haven't sold everything. So once again, you know, people ask me, what do you think? You know, what do you think if you're a farmer? What do you want to do with your marketing program this year? And I think, you know what, just have your have everything ready to go when we do get those pops, and I'd let some stuff fly because it's, you know, I can't see right now what's going to really make us trade up to say $1 higher in corn. It's just going to be met with a lot of farmer selling.
All right, be ready. A finger on the trigger, like you said. All right.
That's right.
Scott Shellady in Chicago. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Have a great day, Scott.
No problem. See ya.
Yep, 4:54 coming up next. Checking the forecast again and a preview of what's coming up next on the Valley today.